What's going on, everybody? Back with another tabletop, and this one by request. Someone asked me to do a video on my Springfield 1911, and so here we are. So, before we get started, I do want to talk about the subscribers. Listen, you guys have been awesome in the comments. It's been great talking with you all. And just in 2 weeks, I went from 32 subscribers to now almost 700. Just crazy. Absolutely crazy. So I'm really glad you're all here, and look forward to making more videos for us all to enjoy together. So let's just get right into it. This is my Springfield 1911. I've had this one quite a long time. She's been through a lot, which we'll talk about here. So my first 1911 was actually a Springfield GI. I carried that gun concealed. I learned the 1911 on that pistol. I think I had it for 2 years. And, like most of us, we got some that we let go and we regret it, and that was one for me. I let it go because I had tactical buddies convince me that this old steel gun wasn't good and I needed to carry a Glock. And, of course, I let it go and I regret it. And years later, I just missed having a 1911. I'm like, man, those were better guns. Couldn't really identify why, but just instinctually, I was like, I miss my 1911. So I went to my local gun store when I saved up enough money, and I got a Springfield Armory mil-spec, and that's what this gun started its life as. So I got the mil-spec, and essentially those guns back in that day, they're kind of similar to what they're doing now, but to me they're a more rugged looking and feeling 1911. They're all forged guns. They did have MIM parts, but essentially they came as an A1 1911 with sort of a lowered ejection port and a set of tall sights, but otherwise it's an A1 1911. And I got the gun, shot it, carried it for years. It went right into the rotation, and I spent a lot of time with it. And around that time, I started to get into custom 1911s and, really just modding them or building them or rebuilding them and all these things. And I did about 5 of them. At one point, I even bought 2 Taurus 1911s and just completely rebuilt them both, with Wilson parts, and which took a lot of work because Taurus 1911s are not built to true Colt design. But I started to learn under the tutelage of some great teachers how to actually smith 1911s, rebuild them, and do them right. And once I felt like I understood what I was doing, I said, you know what, I'm going to take this mil-spec and I'm going to turn it into like what I think a great carry gun would be. And so I rebuilt it. I put in... this is a Springfield Armory flat mainspring housing, which I blended the bottom here, this little corner, so those corners have a nice continuous edge. I did all Ed Brown parts, so this is an Ed Brown grip safety, and then I blended this area here, and actually I raised it up a little bit, so it's an actual higher purchase. And when you push the grip safety down, you don't have any seam there. Everything is just nice and flush. So Ed Brown there. I did a Ed Brown hammer and sear, and those came as a pair, and they weren't pre-fitted, but they're just from the same lot, made of the same steel, treated the same, so you get a much more consistent marriage and long-term durability of your hammer and sear. So I fitted those together. The safety is just an extended safety, single side. I didn't want to do the dual side. I think those are dumb. And this safety came out perfect. It's got no slop, perfect click up, and then perfect click down with next to no over travel. You don't have any slop. Nice positive click up and down, no smush in between. The trigger is a long 3-hole Vodecki trigger, right? And the brake is absolutely perfect. No creep. Crisp, glassy wall. The reset is beautiful. Nice positive click. So I'm very proud of this trigger. It's the finest 1911 trigger I have ever done by far. Other than that, I installed Harrison Design rear sight, and this is a U-notch, not the square. And then this was the only front sight I could find at the time. It was just a blank bar stock, and so I actually hand filed this one myself. Later on, I dropped the pistol and like bent the front sight a little bit, so I actually welded the front sight in. You can't see that very well, but it's a little crude, but it works. And if I ever need to take it off, it's on the surface, so I can just file it off. No big deal. What else? I kept the Springfield Armory barrel. Now, this is the second barrel that I've had in this gun. I shot the first one out. The first third of the rifling was gone at about 8,000 rounds. So this is a new barrel and bushing. And, just a standard Springfield Armory barrel. Nothing crazy or match grade and all that. Nobody can even shoot that good anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then when I first remodeled the gun, the final thing I did to it was put on, I had the gun Cerakoted with like a stainless looking finish. And then I put on some black VZ diamond grips. And I carried it in that configuration for a long time, put a lot of rounds through it. I carried that gun so much, like that the entire mainspring housing and back strap of the frame were, I'd worn through the Cerakote and it was rusting through, and I had rust in the beaver tail. Like I had worn through the Cerakote. That's how much I carried it. And then as time went on, I just kind of moved on to other guns. I still kept the gun because it's got a lot of sentimental value and I have so much history with it. But I just kind of moved on. And so recently, over the past few years, I keep looking at it and going, man, I got to do something with that gun. And so a few months ago, I documented that process a bit, where I remodeled the gun again. And this time, I wanted to go for, really what it looks like right now, which is the MEUSOC configuration, right? And so what I did is I stripped all the Cerakote off. I bead blasted it. There's a popular kind of military-esque finish where you bead blast the gun and sand it down a bit, and then you blue it, and you get this almost Parkerized look, but it's called a bead blasted blue. And it's just sort of a dull, matte blue finish. And so that's what I went with, mostly because it's easy to do. I also installed, I kind of made the gun modular, if that will make sense. So what I did was I fitted a new hammer and sear. So I have an alternate hammer and sear I can swap in if I just want a different look. This is a Type E hammer. I also have just a standard grip safety, a stainless bushing, and a medium Harrison Design solid trigger with some nice shoes, some polished micarta from VZ Grips. And I'll roll on a picture here of the alternate setup of what this gun looks like. So basically, if I just feel like kind of classing the gun up, then I have pre-fitted parts. I literally can just swap them in. So I kind of did that with this gun. I made it have two potential setups, sort of the classy look or the MEUSOC look. It spends most of its time in the MEUSOC configuration. I just think it looks beautiful. Looks really cool in this configuration. And so when I swap it out to that, I put back in my old beaver tail, my Commander hammer and sear that's matched with it. Packmeyer grips, long Videcki trigger. I'd put in the original Parkerized barrel bushing, and happy days. And let me tell you, just from a feel perspective and a shooting experience perspective, this gun is so smooth and easy to shoot. The trigger is absolutely gorgeous and crisp. The entire handling and shooting experience with this pistol is just outstanding. It's just well worn in. The gun's got thousands and thousands of rounds in it, and it just feels great. It is a solid pistol. It's been through a lot. It's been dropped. It's been carried and sweat on, and it's been through a couple shooting classes, and it's just been through a lot. And it's really a testament to Springfield Armory that this gun has been rebuilt so many times, shot and dropped, and just abused, and here it stands, and this thing still runs as good as it ever did. So, yeah, it is kind of a great pistol. Would I buy another Springfield Armory? I mean, I've said in the past, it's hard to now because T-Sauce makes such good stuff. But look, if you're wanting the American 1911 experience, Springfield Armory is hard to beat. They are a beautiful gun. They make a solid gun. These are war fighting pistols. Make no mistake. Particularly this one. These early 2000s Springfields, are what the military used. These went to war. Absolutely. They are solid guns, and take it from me. Like I said, I have absolutely abused this gun. It has not been treated well at all, and the thing runs as good as it ever has. So, yeah. So there is my Springfield 1911. Love this gun. It's one to keep. This is one to pass down to the kids. It's Dad's old slab side, so it'll be with me forever. But yeah, solid gun, rugged. It's just fantastic. So there it is. Beautiful gun. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We will see you on the next one.